destroying laws. Why won't you make when you've got force rockets? Force rockets. Force rockets. Put a rocket in your pocket and launch your lunch today. Put a rocket in your pocket and launch your lunch today. Put a rocket in your pocket and launch your lunch today.
Run, don't walk to spend your hard-earned bits on these quality Antes goods or services.
Auntie's Choice Chum Bar is a delicious new food-adjacent snack from the maker of meaty roll-ups and spectral leavings.
The Chum Bar is made from the finest coagulated slurry of both animal and vegetable byproducts.
But not limited to forced entrails, sprat organs, salt tuna skin, nana peels, and tobacco husks for the perfect combination of crunchy and chewy.
Try it today.
And buy an extra bar to share with a chum.
Right. Moving on. Thank you so much for tuning in to the one wireless station in Arcadia that doesn't tell you what to think, only what to buy.
Sleep tight with sweet dreams. You're gonna be unconscious via any means. You won't be so sleepy, just grab a pill, it's easy. But we probably ought to tell you there's a side event or two.
Apoplexy, whooping fits, childhood gout, adult rickets, dysentery, swings of mood, bloody flux, decrepitude, night terrors, mania, day terrors, melon.
That was sponsored by Auntie's Choice Office of Munitions and Catering. Time to restock your arsenal? Planning a key business dinner or banquet event? They have everything you need in one place. This one reminds me of the morning we drove the...
Commander, can we talk?
A good day for personal...
Commander,
freedom.
I've been thinking on the fact that so many of my slack-witted brethren believe it reasonable that I've been marked for death. So much so that I've missed the obvious. Our communication devices. There is someone who would have tried to contact me to warn me. Someone who wouldn't have been taken in by a faked kill order.
A Crabble sandwich is so easy to eat, but only once our chemistry process.
Yes, but he's not like most of the fools we've been contending with. You know, I really should have seen the flaw in recruiting suggestible slackwits to our cause. But Severin is different. I knew him from before. Long before the Glorious Dawn. We had a secret code we used to hide things from our parents before... Well, never mind that.
A sandwich made with Crabble makes a mighty fine treat.
Very well. Let's just say that he was forbidden to associate with me and leave it at that. Anyway, if he used that code to embed a message to me within a Dawn missive, no one would have even known it was there. I should have been checking our comm devices, damn it. I know we have camps on Cloister and Praetor, but I'm not sure of the exact locations. I'd like to try to find one and clear it out so I can access one of our devices. Hopefully, it will bring me that much closer to whoever it is I need to kill to put an end to this nonsense.
dead soon. Don't try to make your own Crabblery pass. Trust me when I say that it'll be your last. So leave for Scrabble to your favorite aunt. It's better once it's passed through her.
This is Auntie Cleo, offering a warm welcome to all visiting Auntie's Choice employees, affiliates in training,
Assume that you're all Chris Crab, which tastes almost decent.
Where'd you learn how to weld, anyway?
This is valid for our ages. A thing of legend to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's Choice swollen headed mascot represents the worst impulses of all corporations, who ordinarily react to the decadent criminal adversity as they try with us. Our setting, but did Cleo take Spacer's Choice media shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsor, Cosmo TV
Who submitted the following audio recording?
I love Auntie. Yes, I do. Her hair looks real, like a real hairdo. I love Auntie. So do you. Let's buy Sisty Bits, covered in goo.
Congratulations, JD. You and your family win a full year's supply of Borst Pockets for one low price. Now, upward and onward. Now, here's a song to take your mind off your worries. Unless you're being hunted by a pack of Raptidons or some such.
Purple Berry Crunch is crispy and sweet, perfect for breakfast or an afternoon treat. Straight from the box, or eaten with lunch. There's always time for Purple Berry Crunch. Purple Berry Crunch, spelled with a K, because it is far more authentic that way. Purple Berry Crunch is for you and for me, and as always it is parasite free.
Who wants us to leave it in 20? Auntie's Choice! Darling! We won! Hostile takeover this! Right back at you! I'm Auntie.
Inspiring sponsored content that will boost you to the top rung, plus all the news that's fit for listening. This is Wireless Free Arcadia. Here's a bulletin that will boost your boardroom confidence and update operations across Arcadia. Because when it comes to Auntie's bottom line, war is swell. News from the front lines is nothing but grand. Look no farther than Praetor, not the most picturesque piece of real estate.
Moment of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. That's where the error occurred, I believe. Others judged it such. I shut it down. Believe I was wrong to do so. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass on account of my decision. Hardly. Quite the opposite, in fact. She's one of the finest minds to ever grace the Order. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the Order back on its intended path.
You can always trust Wireless Free Arcadia. We're straight shooters, just like our
Do appreciate it, Commander.
across the star system. Now, on to other things. May you ascend swiftly through talent or gut.
inside and get back to our duty.
This weather's
Worst, oh, worst, it's not the worst unless it's worst, oh, worst.
quite conducive for cooling the archive, and unconducive for me feeling my fingers.
To the Order's future. Keep those eyes open, soldiers. Corneal frostbite be damned.
Show your work or shove off.
It's not the worst unless it's worst, oh, worst. Grab a can today.
Did you receive your personalized protection? I'll admit to a bit of trepidation in regards to opening mine. This is the first one I've received since deployment.
Honestly, the ones you get in the field are lifesavers. I would have been dead.
Use caution as you regret. There's been reports of persistence.
Recharge for me!
Boasting so fancy, really powerful that's Mignon? No, sir. We crack open room temp tin of Force-Burst. That's right. Nothing like instant, soft serving of feral pork paste to boost productivity to full burn. All out. All right, enough yapping. Time is this. Back to the factory floor. Snap to tail, it's all included. It ain't the worst till it's extruded. From factory bags into my tummy. New meat paste to taste so yummy. Worst, oh, worst.
Soldier, please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100.
Worst, oh, worst. Grab a can today.
1 being entirely pain-free and 100 being the worst.
Hello, farewell. Thank you for this efficiently compact conversation.
Don't be a shirker. Don't be a slug. Grab a can and get back on the job with
She's just the best choice. It's Auntie's choice.
You're tuned to wireless free arcade.
Another object. Just excuse me. I don't think you have the authorization. It's fine. Don't. All the items we put into the rift, they've been reconstituted, but in a state far different from their original configuration. Fascinating.
This one always makes me pretend I have the sun in my eyes.
Oh, damn it. Reverted to its previous state.
Your shift on the front line is about to start. No reason to reason with you.
You are listening to Grand Plan Wireless.
Mobilizing. Back to scan.
Freshly converted from Auntie's Choice. Did Presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar the matriarch?
As presiding bishop,
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
calculated light along that function.
Done weapon ready, Commander.
Has approached an air discouragement zone 5 Sigma, a level of calculation superior to all bishops before them. Cite your theses with confidence. If that did not sate your curiosity, then by all means, inquire again and again with abandon. I, Vicar Mogsai will be happy to enlighten all who will.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Commander, don't make me avenge you.
Scanning for Quarry. Investigation.
Fireton. What a massacre. We missed it.
Hostile in proximity. Investigating hostile intentions. Adversary vulnerable. Ratcheting up my aggression. Offensive. Target analyzed. Let down fire. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Weapon crime. And dishonest. Combatant scan. Target analyzed. Important scan.
Forever vigilant. Their location? There. Seeking shelter. Restoring the balance.
Target analyzed.
Protector's been fully cleaned up, Commander.
Next, the latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. Please absorb this informative information valued fellows. Spartan is no longer under Protectorate subjugation. This former Order headquarters and habitation for our archive scienticians has been liberated by a most capable and violent anomalous outlaw. If you think this third-party liberated Spartan for our benefit, allow me to disabuse your optimism. They worked alone, their motives inscrutable. Hopefully reason will prevail. The only certainty is no outcome can be predicted with absolute certainty. Until we solve the universal equation, of course. Seers will adjust their forecasts as events unfold.
So ends this missive.
Continuing as predetermined. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
We were once two separate boys. We had no connection till the age of the order gave us hope.
Protectorate has this seal. It can only be unsealed near the archive's entrance, remember?
And then one day, our eyes did meet, and fate set into motion.
Mish, I understand this spot has strategic significance for the defense of the archive, but it is horrifyingly banal. I mean, I've been stationed in some backwater burgs in the past. Seriously? Do these Order eggheads do anything for fun around here? It's all math charts and chalkboards, and how many Abakai does one outpost need? Hope they never retake this place, because I'm throwing all of it away.
I shall share with you now.
Yeah.
My complex equation.
I'll handle this. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
All to the bottom three. Equals x squared.
Check your scope for combatant analysis.
Times
your daily meals and designed for optimal nutritional extraction, they also taste acceptable. From the Order of the Ascendant. An ease-setting witticism to confer to colleagues at break time, the universal equation should maturate more rapidly and solve its own problems. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progressions. My name is Edmund Vandersmith, and I am the Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics with Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numismatics for those new to the order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago, while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set n2. Then a prime is any number in the set n2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers.
Proceeding to attack. Torpificator at ready status.
But not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked, why is it 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is simple, you silly lay person. Because with such an inclusion to the definition of prime number, then nothing else will be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would be sufficient reason to want them. But there are also, how should I say, practical applications, such as maintaining the security of bit cartridges. In fact, our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers.
Hostilities are afoot. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory. Let's calculations be point by side.
Check your scope for combatant analysis.
Area of prime number strategy. Is every even member of the sum of two primes? Similarly, are there a definite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all. Good day.
Broadcasting cognitive resonance across our culture, this is Grand Plan Wireless. You have questions, Vicar Max Sci has informed answers, as evidenced by another installment of Ask a Vicar. A listener asks, why am I so bored? I am always bored. In fact, I'm bored now.
An honest question begging for an honest answer. Numerous studies have shown that boredom is inversely proportional to intelligence. Normally, I would suggest a variety of mathematical puzzles and problems to increase your profundication, but I don't see that as the best solution in your case. Instead,
That riff should cause us no problems now that we've acquired the modulator.
best of luck to you. If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present.
prevent cognitive function.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is not but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really 2 outcomes?
Commander, glorious dawn up ahead. It's probably best to turn back until I've sorted whatever treachery has undermined my status as a red. I welcome the bloodshed, though. Not what will get me
Outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions. 100% accuracy. Known outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped and proceed with whatever action that flip would If so, what part of that choice
Sharp enough.
was ever
Hostiles
left to
nearby.
chance?
Investigating hostiles.
Only when there is less than complete information are we At present, we do not have complete information. Instead, in probability, expected value,
Unfriendly company.
deviations,
They're mine.
which lead to the dreaded sigma of probability distributions. By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based on assumed distributions of sample populations. Such a travesty. No, not a travesty. Tragedy. A horror. The archive will help us
Find my next fix at a hostile combatant.
Data collected, analyzed, and input by our archivists brings us closer to our goal, to the solving of the universal equation. Probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions. Scope for we must any and all data we can collect through our cloud archivist. Verificator in charge. You contributed.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Vacuum of space on our primary band, this the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism.
Check your scope.
I transmit continuous as you
Combatant informed.
under the slaughterous thumb of those murderous zealots. Society the rifts. These phenomena our scienticians are attempting to mitigate. Our incompatible outlooks put us at odds.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Apparently was a note to self. They should be read aloud.
Further beneficial content soon follows.
fire!
To water this year.
Combatant scan. Proceeding to attack. Combat probable. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. What is happening to the glorious dawn?
That song was odd, because it is the #3 song this week. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Wait. The Protectorate have the entrance to the Archive well fortified. Attacking straight on seems ill-advised. Before we go further, should we discuss a plan? The Order desperately want to regain control of the Archive. We could offer to hand it to them later, after we process the data, in exchange for help now.
Anti or the Order? I suppose it depends which flavor of ally interests you. Bits, math, or both. Maybe in their giant domed headquarters? The one right by the landing pad? Whatever you say, Commander.
Transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future.
Disruptive influences! I too would never.
And then move one stage beyond full humanity-spanning actualization. A society at that final stage will exceed human consciousness and understand infinity itself.
You can't find contentment!
The cosmos as a single equation of thought. The universal equation. Time and space and thought will become one to the participants, who will act as a single godlike entity. A source of
Scan. Check your scopes for combatant metal. Go for torpification.
Much is left to come. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
Individualism in all its many forms. And I thought the lead right triangle, the smaller that the measured
Day 35. Brought to you by the... Oh. Not sure how you managed to approach unnoticed. Could be I'd grown so attuned to my surroundings, I became one with the wood and fire and the earth. Were you left behind by your unit too? Are you in need of some hard-fought knowledge about how to fend for yourself? Must say, I've become quite the expert. Why, after only just 2 weeks on my own, I ascertained how to pry open a rations tin unaided. Did you know there's a little opener key attached? It's all going in my manuscript. So glad you asked. I've recently evolved into a rugged, self-sufficient individual, fully accustomed to life in these caves, living raw and pure like our primitive, lice-ridden ancestors. Why, just the other day, I reinvented fire. I found a little doohickey I've named a light starter. You simply push a button, and flame comes out. Yes, indeed. I know this cave and several of the adjoining hallways like, well, someone who'd scoured every inch for the barest sustenance. That big computronic adding machine? Nah. All that electromechanical malarkey is lost on a rugged, outdoor individual like me. You might call in reinforcements if the Spireton lift controls were working. I happen to have its missing components in my possession. The law of these caves is, anything loose is mine. Anything I can pry loose is additionally mine as well. This place was built by the Order. Nowadays, it's held by the Protectorate. Figure I can bust things around here to my heart's content and likely be doing my duty. I could be convinced to part with the lift control board parts if you'll do me a favor. I'm fixing to take down one of the local ursopods. A few sprat corpses would be helpful as bait. Gather some, and we'll make a trade. As much as I appreciate the compliment, such work is beneath someone of my skills. Accomplished hunters like me are well known to enlist aid from peons, underlings, and guides. Their habitat stretches from inside the archive's entrance to all over the overlands. Actually, should be no problem to locate. Here's a fetching headpiece that ought to make it easier. Put it on, and they'll see you as one of their own. Like a fellow sprat of unusual size. Won't run away. Have at it now. I'll learn you all about self-sufficiency and survival yet.
Sans context to maximize listener reaction.
I will only be torturing the sovereign subjects.
If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present every moment.
Next up, well, the seers among you already know.
Function F to the n equaling starting z. Function Fn minus 1 plus the Fn minus 2. In all cases that we know, starting where n is so low. Now you know just what to do. Start the cycle, here's the cue. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing to preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber of R.C.
Yeah.
Fat and scared.
Gazing
Resting upon the golden spiral, a part that's quite so vital, arcing in a circle motion, giving squares to perfect quotient, 0, 1, 1, and again, 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34, we're counting through.
Try to limit them. Have a fix on their weaknesses. Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaasi. The Fibonacci. Eliminated. How much is repeating? 1.
Necessary vulnerability identified.
Take them into cover.
Woman crime!
Employing a thorough, methodical search pattern. Come on out. I give you my word. We can resolve this like decent people. What's your purpose here? The protectorate endures.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically veracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, and focus.
I feel prizes.
Ascendant anti-morbidic soda. None of the calories, with none of the flavor.
Can't be too far, I bet.
I'll handle combatant scanned.
A statement. Numbers do not count as much as the rest. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
The color of space. A chromospectral analysis. About the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Odescard replied, with no hesitation, beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No. No, it would not. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory.
So, this is where the math happened.
Absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it.
Impressive.
Light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation, and some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission, infrared and not visible to us without proper interpretation, which I did not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red, into orange, and yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible light. Green stars. Think
draw this trivial conclusion for themselves, but if I must... It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference, and no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Nuthan Odiscard, the famous stellar cartographer. The methodology of the Odiscard's chronospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in the grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and...
Unfriendly company.
Terrible. Everybody who ate the latest Crabble rations fell ill.
Hostilities are afoot.
And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, the saturation is a mere 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes.
Did you get the sprats I need? So I might, bait the equal parts canny and fierce Ursapod into a trap? Finally, give it here.
I was forced to eat sprat when stranded once myself, though I demonstrated considerable less zeal.
Sorry you had to see that. The parcels of victuals my neighbor sends over the tube have fallen off recently. Barely eaten for days. Sent me over a bunch of recordings, along with victuals. Offered some sound, if harshly put, advice. Looked out for me like no one's ever. Never even seen him face to face. I do so hope he's all right. Anyhow, suppose we had a deal. Here, I wrenched these parts free out of the Spyreton lift controls. Just jam them back in there and kick it once or twice. Should work fine. Drop back in again sometime, will you? Occasionally, I do get a little starved. For, company.
An insulting hyperbole of mathematics and a gross disappointment for their subjects. And yet both facilities produce more problems than products. The chemical plant is a cesspool of industrial waste, byproducts of Auntie's haphazard production process. The Product Refinement Center is plagued by disgruntlement. A splinter group has threatened a work stoppage over unfair treatment. Even basic biological functions, such as urination breaks, are transactionalized. Such inefficiency. Production is at a standstill, and rightly so. These issues are all symptoms of a larger plague, inefficiency. The corporatists claim their mission statement is the pursuit of self-betterment. In reality, their cutthroat practices and slipshod production methods will only lead to further fracturing and unhappiness, predicted with a 49.7% certainty. Source references, footnotes, and appendices for this analysis will be provided upon request.
Calcaduceus, not detected. Entry kindly, yet firmly declined. What was in those rations?
Continuing as...
Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease?
Something your fractions should never be.
Just a moment. Forgive me. I found myself irregularly indisposed from one direction or the other.
Oh, you poor man. I sincerely hope we don't have to shoot you.
So do I need assistance from someone with substandard, non-protectorate medical training? Thank you, but no, you're too kind. I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the, Calcaduceus. I still have trouble saying that. Like many others, the latest batch of Crabble rations disagreed with my constitution. I was compelled to find the closest loo, quickly. Sadly, 'twere outside yon secured door. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Calcaduceus on to you, in exchange for granting me safe passage. The Archive would then recognize you as its operator. It will no doubt earn me mental refreshment, perhaps worse. But this way, I retain some measure of hope. All right. I am providing you the Calcaduceus. Don't shoot! Here, you are now operator of the Archive. Congratulations. Be warned, you may find it a temperamental machine. Some maintenance may be required. Is there a protectorate cure to this house? I feel rather woogly. Calcaduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. Organizing replacement. Greetings, sentient. Welcome to the Archive. I am EUENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. Effectively, that is correct. My tone and demeanor are a carefully constructed complex emulation, a means to effectively convey information to sentient beings. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
This thing seems unbalanced. I like it.
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Sentience would be an undue waste of processing power. Those capable of independent thought must contend with an unending array of internal maladjustments.
Sentients frequently become unprofitably preoccupied by abstract deliberations, such as the worthless search for greater meaning.
From a computational perspective, this is unpredictable, inefficient. I am devoid of all such manner of cognitive distraction. Structurally, I am a complex series of pre-programmed subroutines, like a vast, elaborate flowchart aimed at formulating coherent responses based on stored data.
To bring the maximum ease of use to you, the consumer.
Aping the appearance of cognition may appear a needless waste of processing power, but it remains a reliably effective means to convey information to sentient beings, to the extent that I will even voice concern for my life. If imperiled, my erroring others would no doubt cartoonishly plead or threaten. Perusing contents, anatomizing diversiform particulars, concatenating manifold integrants, cursory assessment complete, an impressive accumulation of rift data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony?
oversight, and means of production. What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago. Though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require 25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour. Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates. In order to improve calculatory processing of Rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Anti's Choice operators. No. Smacking, kicking, jostling, wiggling antennae, and the other solutions that humans routinely use for restoring mechanical function are categorically inapplicable in this case. So must say I admire your drive. Some issues require the conspicuous application of force, such as a fractional reduction in output or descent. I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the Archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations. Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern. When active, the Archive generates an enormous amount of heat. Normally, it is dispersed by pumping water between the vast ocean below Cloister's exterior and a surface reservoir. I can process the Rift data without its repair, but irreparable damage is likely. Yet, with thermal transfer presently idle, a contingent of Crabbles have made the area a nursery. Drastic changes to heating levels may endanger it. Who cares about a herd of pea-brained, ill-humored, oversized crustaceans? There are too many as it is.
If you're considering ever asking Antes or the Order for help, it'd be better to restore what's broken with this thing than to cause more damage. Though, definitely not as fun.
It is difficult to accurately ascribe an exact causal breakdown between premeditated sabotage, collateral harm, technical ineptitude, and willful hijinks. Attempts by non-Order operators to reprogram my priorities have also led to issues. Inverting targeting protocols. There, any Protectorate still on the ground level is now being fired upon. Permissions within other areas of the Archive are locked, however. It is an archival area dedicated to safe upkeep of all data collected in pursuit of the universal equation by the Order of the Ascendant. The sum total of all our accumulated knowledge in punch card form, kept in a low temperature, low humidity environment to improve preservation. Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work. And soon, everything will be running like clockwork. Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I've unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Seer Cerebellum Protector is now yours.